My job today is to tell you that you can look at the postures in multiple ways. That's the way one should start looking at postures. You could have postures of a relaxative nature predominantly, and the most popular being Shavasana. But you also have an equally very effective technique called Makarasana, because one of the advantages of Shavasana to Makarasana, if you really ask me, is when you lie down prostrate, there is a slight resistance at the level of the abdomen. And that resistance, even if it relaxes you, it keeps you aware of breathing. Whereas when you lie down on the back, there is a chance that you can get into the void. Okay, so you have got Shavasana, you have got Makarasana as two of the most popular relaxative postures. Then the manner in which Swami Kovalanand has described, they are cultural postures. Now when we say cultural postures, the cultural postures predominantly try to influence the spine, try to influence the visceral cavity. So you must have postures. If you just look at the condition of the abdomen, you have no bony structure, my dear, to support the visceral organs. So ribs themselves are hanging. Spine itself requires support to be in the right kind of a form. You have got hip joint right down, but in between this almost 1.5 foot length, you may call it, or depending on the length of the trunk a person has, can be 12 inches. But from the nabi, if you take left, right, front, back, all over, you only have a chance to hold the visceral organs in place by having adequate abdominal tone. So you have various kinds of postures like Naukasana on back. You have postures like Dhanurasana, which are going to give you a good stretch in the anterior segment. You have got posture like Halasana, which up to right angle. And beyond right angle, it's a totally different game. Up to right angle, you have got effort. 1/3 of the body weight you're lifting. And when spread over the length of the leg, you're almost lifting equal to your own body weight with the abdominal muscles. The moment you go beyond, that's about 135 degrees to almost the feet going down on the floor, the whole game plan changes. Now the breathing is different, the load is undergone a change. Now it is more of compression and no more really severe contraction of the anterior or the posterior area. You have got postures, Pavan Muktasana, which we have already seen in the videos otherwise. We have postures like Paschimottanasana. Again, the word Paschimottanasana is, so wrongly understood. Somehow people have a feeling that I must get my forehead to the knees. Nowhere in the text has that been mentioned. It clearly says Paschima Utthan Asana. The pranic currents along the Paschima Marga have to start traveling upwards. The purpose is that. Quite often we say, oh, now having seen, I should not have said this, So this afterthought comes from the rear part of your living system, that is Paschima Marga. You have postures of a meditative nature. You have Padmasana, you have Siddhasana, you have Sukhasana, Swastikasana. Basically postures in which you can sit down for doing kumbhakas and pranayama.